is to us. Other places, where they lack the capacity to mine those things, they will hire people to come and do it, then they pay them. So what is happening on the continent, and a mistake. They say and it's quite bizarre. Now me can about Ecowas, Alusu, the 14, our West Africa, and the fact is you wherever Obiano member states don't even recognize their essence and more importance in the way a man or things play out. And why cool no? And all the French speaking countries and echo. That is the import of this whole discussion. And I am telling you, say, apart from internal mechanisms, now you give rise to some of the coup now. There are other external forces are behind pushing for happiness now. So person will tell us just look at the geopolitical arena, the tension that is brewing up there. You see the unipolar world order, no? Other countries are propping up, China and Russia, setting their footing. No, there is nothing like a unipolar world order. Some say a bipolar, say a tripolar. It's a tripolar world order. You need allies to remain significant. So these countries now strategically, coming to Africa looking for new allies. And to succeed, the neck of democracy has to be broken. That is the masterpiece. But the answer na yebe by no so no. The question I say you say I want to say eba na san e na nema kwa ba bedru samre. First one Ecowas. And make answer na network no ti akono. Ecowas is highly responsible for nema we ekoso nyina because we've gotten to a point that Africa, especially West Africa and Central Africa, no phenomenon man na ekoso no say aban bi ba na obedi ne 80 years wi a unhu de besi no no twankrofobia atwa ne ho ahia na ya massage constitution just to give some longevity to his tenure na asan ko biem. They do these things with impunity, with no sanctions. Typical example they happen in Cote d'Ivoire. Na make about Laurent Gbagbo and Alassane Ouattara. Yehu the kind of tension, the violence we are. Precede that particular handing over no. Our Cote d'Ivoire. Emma Alassane Ouattara man for budget no say omra obedi 4 years we be 8 years. Massage constitution stand another 10. Ecowas, AU, nobody complain about anything. At some point, say Ecowas, dear critical cry. Such a person with such a terrible record, a manipulated constitution and then no. He became an integral part of delegation via Ecowas best man kwa thing. In that regard, no, I never take you serious. Because Domboya, ni coup no wogini no. Delegation no more the call or one and then casano. Not the same obia or no massage constitution. I didn't want to see a could for extra 4 years no. I can't delegation on a Ecowas. As man then a call. Domboya saw them as jokers, a bunch of old jokers. He never listened to them. And these guys, you're telling you, so just a temporary period. You capture political power. Few months after, no, we will do transition. None of them any transition. None of them, because power, political power now, they will not hand over so easily. That is why I was expecting Senka Ecowas didn't say I'm making sure that internal mechanism factors now play out for all these things to happen, no? Because as long as instability persists in Africa, no, it's an opportunity for imperial exploitation. And it's exactly what is happening. And why the French-speaking countries? Abra France for colonizing more countries in the UK left Ghana completely. Your friend is saying Anglophone countries, they left. But the French countries, so over the years, there has been a significant ties between French-speaking countries and France. Economically, they control a lot of the things happening in your friend is saying, your friend's a French-speaking country. One of such, the fact is the Central African francs, the CFA, all these French-speaking countries in AUSU, and 50% of their foreign of their currency reserve, Bank of France. So you can imagine 50% of their currency reserve, Bank of France. So you to now more banana tenasia baby who say colonial period na twam. I didn't think France there was such massive control over our economy. Say they decide for us at some point in time. So it started with this anti-French sentiment within these Francophone countries. And the best said near Manacry the recent decision by France, Abraham Macron by and they said no, he's winning off because so called the Sahel region, one of most of the African countries now France our troops, soldier for our more ama fight this Islamic insurgent group, this military terrorist group, more AKV in some with ties with Al Qaeda, ISIS, those blah blah blah, because they saw those areas, as a fertile hiding place for them. So France, in 2012, set up into Nigeria coup nasi hosisiana France for our 2 military bases. One our Niamey, that is their capital. And they have about 5,500 soldiers. Proud to say Obefor Makono. No more about 5,500 soldiers or more pretty within these areas, especially the Sahel region and the Babia. France colonized your mono. And the UN is about 1,500. And Germany had about 1,000 soldiers operating in these areas. And then France for this operation now or more year to drive out those Nkrofono. Every that operation Bakani. The whole idea they say or more now fight those insurgency and terrorist group then as a form. So Macron by taking decision say time has come Africa for betimi ade omo ho say omo ankasa control omo ndi me farmer soldier for do omo akono. Internal mechanisms can play out for security on those at those places need to be maintained, and to me engine. So those terrorist group, any footholding in the land. And I'm buying story ni or when I buying on aircon. Some of the government decided say if that is the case, then let's go out. Now young also the help of what a Wagner group, this mercenary group from Russia, are more ties with the Russian Federation. And I'm almost now are buying and fighting against those insurgency group. So I'm for number. I bet tenancy ya be who say nay a bambo no mo bebono or mo jai free and then Oklahoma to go ne diamond and as a phone. Because when you bring mercenaries into your country, they get foothold, they know who said they have control over your army, they will take over your country. And that Wagner group no ha. I bet a gun for a high. Wow, are you ready? So pese utu abayin gubia na so pese we have training in as a phobia, they will offer you. And this anima way they did the demand am I some of this group are emboldened and aban so more nkro so no aye so ineffective amanfo na aye so disappointed nintino whenever obi be na just obey coup pe nipa no more ground so no support it nti so obe kai Guinea esi ye no people were chanting or they were celebrating. They didn't know what they were celebrating but the actual fact is say so mo he niemo mo namu the internal circumstances how our poverty abeye so pervasive. A few people more capture political power no ADD na obi anya na dwen say all toto nema ama the immense human potential na our continent no so ye put it to good use na then some of them prefer say nka de asi kura nka ye and e to so started from Mali August 2020 and moved to Omaban to go ye Ecowas sorry threatening more returning to civilian rule when you say anya say the soldier for and as for the baby nyina akosi ye no akosi zan ankosi baby a Ecowas told them say obesanhye omo. The question is economic might bang and Ecowas war when it comes to trade, because it's easy to be in Africa and trade with the European partners, with Russia, with China, so easy than to trade with our neighbors in Africa here, because Yankasi you put impediment on our way say it's easy even traveling to African countries. What the hana corner of Africa, it's easy to get to other European countries than so benya visa to travel to Yankasa Africa. Because deliberately we've embedded and inserted this constraint and a hamper economic trade liberalization na yeka ho asem no. Do fa wo nema kwa no de kwa Africa akotoma din chance obefa kwa Europe. Banka yeti organization no Ecowas ne nasefo ada bia ye nkura yete ho asem no nyina nanka ye free say ebe gear towards addressing some of these your friends saying systemic challenges emma Africa entimi engele. Entimali ye ne de na omo threatening omo no ankosi aga anche na your friends saying Guinea de Twaso, Burkina Faso de Twaso, Chad Amfa Niger. So there is this unprecedented wave of military interventions going on these French colonies, all because they had genuine sentiment or that. And think at the time comes Sanya man start unity Nanka Ecowas be move in. And then because on the geopolitical arena, the players out there, a country like Russia, most of the activities going on in this place, Wagner group, that mercenary group from Russia, because my culture said they have the military might, everything, and they are guns for high. So once you approach them, whatever you need, they will give it to you because they are mercenary group, and all Central African Republic, or move to go, just a whole lot. They were involved in the Mali coup, they were involved in the Burkina coup, because at the geopolitical arena, there is some tension that is brewing, and Russia is looking for allies in Africa. And a country that is democratic is almost impossible to align itself to Russia. So some of these things in Asia, automatically you get disconnected from the West and the American allies. So you become an open country. An open country is open to new friends. And this Obakaya Nano, Abra, your friends at St. Petersburg summit in a course, the Russian African summit in a course, the Burkina big guy went there and declared his allegiance to Russia, saying that he's no longer dealing with the West again until the newfound friend, Russia. And China is also in the picture. So as long as you will break democracy, because one who's a French-speaking colonies, they have genuine issues with France, which France has failed to address. And any trigger beyond the coup beba, and the very moment the coup beba pet, then there is a shift in terms of your friend saying superpower allegiance. And one of the motivation, this brick Western currency na no. Because some of these countries have come to the realization say Russia and Ukraine war now more kono. Russia asset in dollars in ya freezy at the answer to so. Okra dollar won't be fine because within the world financial system, no, sa dollar no kurana won't be fine. So they want to change the narrative by ensuring that the dollar will no longer dominate. So these countries, China, Russia, your friend is saying, South Africa is one of those countries, you know. They are coming out with a new currency called the BRICS currency. You see, they will replace the dollar. Our dollar will no longer be the most dominating global currency. They are coming up with a competition with that BRIC. So what it means is that the more countries use Sikano and never mawanya that money no any relevance. We are saying. And as long as some of these African countries continue to remain under Western influence, there is no way any of them will cede to this money as a forum. So you need allies. So in getting allies, say if internal mechanism exists, a situation is fertile for coup. I didn't know I am pressing the kakrabi na agency. So that is another motivation. But senkaye to me, na challenges na face on our own no yet me a solve wa. Nka we nkonkosi because they are called Central African Republic almost is more or less like a client state of Russia, and they need them. They need them, not that for anything though, for the future, because these countries, I'm not in the history of the world, being hooked on my but they will rather use you. And I told you why I favor democracy over some of these governance, and then as a forum, me always I'll choose democracy. And Obibeka said democracy are failing. Democracy, they tell you who's are failing and say, no. Africans na we are not practicing democracy. We have chosen the convenient aspect of democracy because the last time democracy index, I think the statistics by review various democracies in the whole of Africa, one country, and now Omoka say or a fully democratic. That country is Mauritius. Mauritius is the only democratic country, fully democratic country on the whole of African continent. So they're all practicing a born China, you can't blame democracy. Because conveniently you choose a portion that will keep best for us. Ghana, look at the way a man Akufo-Addo is toying with the institution, breaking the neck of the institution as for. So if you are not able to realize dividends in democracy, don't go and blame democracy because what choose to adopt the convenient portion and you are going with it. That is the playbook of deception. The name around democracy. So democracy na young rolled out in the way it's supposed to be, And then the idea babidru. So these countries not here we say Nemana Koso at the global stage, be here allies or be here allies. And these countries, like Russia and China, the kind of governance in it as if on more euro out or more, I did do a bit more no African country can adopt that system and succeed because over there, the state wields enormous power to control citizens. How dare you go and sit in Russia and say, criticize Putin? And we have that freedom to sit here, democracy, criticizing. In China, you don't have that freedom. And I'm not sure that is what African countries want. So those who are jubilating, so Russia is taking over Africa. If that is what we want, that's cool. But the question is, your right to sit on radio, criticize, your right, those freedom, Akufo-Addo, it is so unfair for me. People are hoping, say, next time election be because for you to get opportunity, those opportunities don't exist in those countries. Who your opposition leader, who down jail and answer what from minimum. That is the conditions over those countries. It's an extreme repressive regime, but they've been able to achieve economic success. Interface. So who are they've been successful. Yes, it's good for them, but the good question is, will it be good for us? Now, but changes no cost no in the future. No, what is the future like? Are they going by the communist system, the Russian system? Which system are you going by? Because so one year and then so the new one then acquire power. Next time will be so and one then by power. So I know the day, the whole place become a lawless place. The team being a minobi. That was what was happening in Ghana after year 2 Nkrumah. There were not other be any baby. Wow, then that sorry, you cool now so So as long as those instability exist in Africa, those powers will continue to enjoy. Because you see, say, if you go to some of the African countries now, instability first hour mercenary groups no buy say or mobile and then move to oil, a bit move to gold, a bit move to way, making those things and they are taking them away. So nobody gets your interest at heart. Nobody. That is why African leaders by now looking around the narrative, you say this is the time for us to come together. Because say if Russia, China, South Africa, and few other countries, say or the break sika ba. Just look at the distance even between them. Argentina, the whole of Africa, you to me kind of home. That's a issue a single currency into me. And as a single currency, and as you say, your friend saying that trade liberalization, the free market, constraints in the you be here for only a trade among ourselves. We will be better. We will. But right in front of us, and these people are coming, seeing the enormity of your friend saying human resource and natural resource potential now they are only cashing and taking them away. Chinese recent investment in Africa, my culture said the Chinese Development Bank since 2000 alone, I invested over $23 billion into Africa. And Sasika we unkokwa. Ya disikano etichiro. Na ya jiwe japadiye. That is what they do. So if you see them as an ally, you're only fooling yourself. They may need you today, but the question is forever. Because Niemana AC on the geopolitical arena today, a call for allies. You need allies. Allies need to say, "Uhiam Crofo on Babo Wachidom was a Missum Crofo Ameno, air premier." So, Unyado do I know Muye. That is why America has become so powerful. Or no, apart from America, and all the Western countries are part of America. So, whatever decision that they is collective. That is the kind of friendship Russia and China are looking for. And Africa, because of the way we go about our things, they have realized, oh, this is after all, look at the resources I want. If radioactive materials, uranium, and several other natural resources are Ghana has a as a wine to me bahabe 2 year gold. Ebe tutu a man for Diane. At some point in time, in Ghana for cross and in the end, what happened? Yes, he didn't that is how they operate. Rogue countries, that is how they operate. So you see, these things are intervention, they are no intervention. We are just pawns on people's chess game. A time will come, they will not need you again. And the kind of governance, the government structure now set it up in those countries, can never be replicated in Africa. For instance, Burkina Faso, you think this coup leader will be able to exert massive control to the extent that will be able to know. But Putin in Russia, I don't know. That guy has been a former CIA, and KGB agent from days. And you know, when it comes to exercise massive control, and has been around for so long, I built on one Kasani team for years. Because in the last 24 years, he has reached the place for almost 20 years. So he knows his way around. But wo afena yeba kosa nneema numuan. Bisa ho say hefa na bekwa kodru. Enti na nka African leaders ebetena se aye serious say no, the scramble for Africa no aye enough. Time aso. Eni se yetena se mo obi beche yen. Omo cha never be able to do ene no. Yenso no, this is the future for us. Because so her continent ni nyina ma e de ben na manfo wa ye ni bi. We are ahead of almost all of them. Because the last time I was telling you, I had the average age a dozen in terms of way or America. It was around 34 to 44 years, that interval. So it means a working population, Germany crowd there, no crowd there is worse. But Yahano. The rate of say you replace Ukraine, CD to the extent that we are producing surplus. Human, was nipa no. So human resources, we have it in abundance. Natural resources we have. Why would Africa become a harvesting place for these people? Because we are so greedy to the extent that they don't care. That is my culture, because the concept of power, I define the politics in our part of the world and they say, and there my medaka kasi wouldn't be but the essence of leadership, where we provide a platform for leverage or maximizing human and individual potentials, Sebi. Also betimi in the ho akwa koduru baabi no se ball no nimba, the platform is there. Betimi ambo akwa koduru baabi se America no nim to the platform is there. Also betimi ay baby enwom to a betimi ay baby, creative art. Just say these are the platforms that are buying you're supposed to build for people to leverage. Those incentives, are never provided anywhere. So few people who capture political power and will live good, they will live large at their expense. When your opportunity to catch yourself papa mobra, knowing very well say, idea inspire more is nothing but corruption. No, what we see Canada ye no. No, I see any akukudro. Aba catch or say, oh papa mobra. That is the concept. A defined politics. Ewo say. Please, I'm coming. Sorry. So that is the concept. I define the politics in our part of the world. So, baby, what can I see who say, baby, near me question can you swan no? We can't care about any baby do a cool nessy back. I see me Burkina Faso cry that happened twice. I see back. I see me, Yatana say, Amanase, ABC, me and son. Nina ban Ecowas issue statement and we are telling you say mon return it away when right in front of your nose, I want for change the constitution ye boomra ye bufaso. So yana yatana siama this internal mechanism because me see cool na ebesi it's an interplay of external and internal factors. But the internal factors alone may not be enough because so we need foreign partner. You can't do a coup and succeed. Never. That is why so over here Anglophone countries, like Ghana, Nigeria, those things, yes, the economic situation in this it doesn't seem but what tries you may not succeed because the external backing, you won't get it. And if you don't have external backing, forget it. Because coup is not about capturing political power or capture we are how to hold on to it, That is the raw deal. And if you don't have that external way, win. And yet what our ties with UK those things, It's so difficult for some of these groups, to just run in. And those societies, Ghana say, and yet, and Ghana is a homogeneous society, and yet heterogeneous. Yes, Nigeria is a heterogeneous society. Boko Haram, then as a form, but how certain external influence, but in overpower, ama internal circumstances, are coincided with the external one, those things, and see, but French-speaking countries, already, Nippon war, Kasana, there is this new wave of French. The friends saying anti-French sentiment. Said the name can become mufiso France for sisi omo bu omo faso omo japade omo sika ninyina or ewo omo bank na so already when you collect the minds of the people to that particular direction, and that is why the anti-French sentiment sets in. So anything that comes in biano among for ebediatum, anything that working in those countries, not into being working or the friends say Franco-Anglophone countries, Organa here the is a better radio so discussing na as for is but a good question is external back in or US and UK. You won't find those things. Especially when Ghana is a known strategic ally aligned to the West. So that is the fact. Until then, Kame say Ecowas in a yempani for better who say young review democratic practices in various African countries. Because my culture say whenever there is a problem, and I'm say design a framework that is aimed at addressing those challenges. So over the years, trust and confidence people have in democracy, especially in those French-speaking countries. French-speaking countries. Yeah, cry has a French-speaking countries in Africa and Ankasano. That trust and confidence is no longer there. So I buy not to sonaba yet timamuhunu. Komakacho said the essence, the legitimacy, and the relevance of any government anywhere beyond is sourced from the trust and the confidence citizens repose in that government. So a good point by not trust and confidence, any hobby that government become useless. So in those areas, that trust and way no longer exist. So Obiaba Sorbe Obenaju to Abina Gubian, you are seen as a hero. Burkina Faso, Abrantia no call now or call St. Petersburg, the Russian African Summit in Asia. Oko Kasabai, Oba and any crew more budget or so because they saw him as a hero. Because the previous democratic dispensation and the existing failed them. Nipano Moda no could not articulate the democracy in such a way as it benefited people economically. But few people around the corridors of power now will live good. When they were supposed to create opportunities for the youth unemployment on the continent, is so bizarre, so bizarre. So bizarre on the continent. Because so last night me hear some horrific story bia Ghana for Nigeria for na say for far from through Libya. Ekotena balu so kofa the sea sa sea we ya Mediterranean sea we ya da hoyi ni party balu so okono onim say the chances of surviving aye obetimi ewu anytime. But in Africa, higher land that is supposed to be rich, the desperation, the frustration, and as a for they will risk it all and travel all the way to Europe. So Ghana niba, Nigeria niba, our kroma, natural resources, and yes, so a bua to the sense, Babako for their comma obi, omuntu, na ya man a kick back, or mine no nyashim free. No job opportunity into you to mean nam quite well nantia kofa ba akotena balu so or call Italy or call France or call Spain. That the most interesting aspect of it, this country I'm born in African countries know what all of us are 10 times richer than these countries. But Nema Ghana war Italy in the half. And Nema Ghana war France in the half, and never Ghana war Spain and Ukraine in the half. But you see, this economy, you see, working around the knowledge economy, and they've been able to set themselves up to the stance and they have become an economic powerhouse. Way any leadership. And to you to know who are supposed to sit here, help us work plan out to ensure say Africa will become a successful destination. Even Europeans, you know, crab behind because never you or home in the half, no, and then yetibalu so echo Europe because we are so poor to the sense that oko embassy class oko pet visa. We am fam out. Intelligence a kodam pai bobia. Kudi muada. Mamma for class or the mamma for your magic mind and sending can visa. Now to say it's so bizarre and so pathetic. That is the Africa we have. May say the natural resources of Africa is we cannot compare any other continent resources or more to us. So ask yourself, why are we poor? Leadership, no, under this democratic dispensation, Yamakata said, is nothing but a sham. This is no democracy. It's a sham. People are imposters are just hiding behind democracy. They are selling the country and its asset off to satisfy their dying day needs. Yes, you can do your money and an ho. But so there is this research that I want you to go and read around. People who come to political and some from where the political power in Africa, go and check and ask how many of them na omoma seek medical care in Africa, omoko school in Africa, and even omuye adwuma kra in Africa. Because you can't be a leader ruling people and your children. It makes sense anywhere. The morality that comes with governance do not permit those things. But about half of even Ghana Hakurano, majority of people in government, you know, have their families, everybody out. So Saani Pana would to me and Sano. If you ever think that he's coming to do anything to change your life or obey any young concern from Kwabonting, we are not reasonable. And then you can't lie to anybody. That is a tide that is stemming against France in these Francophone countries, you know. You see, those days, you know, not people were information unaccessible. People were unexposed. But then with a click of the button, people can just have access to information, read, ask questions, and where they are not getting answers to their questions now. And then I edit this this revolution, and because they cannot understand why we have it all. We have all the natural resources. We are richer than many of the countries where our people are dying to go. Why are we poor? It's coming back to leadership. Oh, if you go to a place like Nigeria, it's so pathetic. I am no mutuno Nigeria no. Onkwana one person, otumba bi, and also otunde bi. Or not the oil sika onye free or mine oil no etimi share the whole country half nipa and half. Na bi say oil den and nsa kan sa ade no. One person though. One person. Ena japade no enya ne de o e o mine na de but wo fa kwan bi so abedi ne nsam living good. And if you get onto the street, poverty is the only thing that reigns high on the streets of Nigeria, Ghana, and all these African countries that you see. So it makes exploitation very easy. And these interests that are coming in now, no, they may identify themselves as allies. Russia, your friends, ask yourself, a country better was as Russia, China, or mine better was as China, but there is none. Because they are trying to consolidate power. No one can the 9 NC. He's trying to consolidate his power. And that is the same way Xi Jinping is doing. Whenever there is internal revulsion, they'll crack down on them. Africa, we are not supposed to imitate. And I say, we need to rewrite the rules of engagement so far as politics is concerned. Do our bidding in such a way say benefit even trading among ourselves and kwampo ye barriers or other constraints ye free man, trust me. Africa will be the best place. But because of greed, because of selfishness, Bako 4% or no just a odidia man the fupai or figu for months and a wife when be di. And yes, odia meo or didia mea or figure and sana. Because when people rise to political prominence, they see the people who took them there, no, they see them as animals. No respect, nothing. Nothing. Listen, we tell story and they play out. I was Cecilia the party or na se for no man. Even the treat and all the those people are no more working for her no cry no. It's something that it gives you a certain way because we know beating out treating in way man or news abon no. That is how the enterprise of good governance yet defiling with impunity. You're defiling with corruption. You're defiling with selfishness and unimaginable greed. In Africa now, this is our story. The continent, has suddenly transformed. All our leaders have become beggars. Begging for alms, charity. And as a head near my walk room, we sit here and rely on IMF for redemption. When you good na kasampo, you admit tenacity, not you try to say agreement for from the amount of money yen sabakano, but when I could do because everybody's benefiting. By Japadian Bako for winya face of face, me nimo be also about as when yes, you can see a man for you no drew national, or pass the man the security and the security woman. And now when Jessica to the stand say, Edru say, Obeuno, Obia woman. So it is not about how long you live, it is about how well the impact that you are able to make in the life of others. That is all the leadership is about. Because you can want to mean that now my time will be a Ubensika or Ubensika or Elon Musk and as a wine. Wine. So, baby, I will be the impact that you are able to make. Leave a lasting legacy that will leave an indelible imprint on the minds of people. That is all the leadership and the legacy that comes with it, is about. But not Africa. And I nim nyansa nso ntine ye na ye ho se yesum nyame kyan obia yete ha krono awudie hypocrisy adodore nipa na betena ase to reason up. Because continent sir, they want it this way. Poverty is a multi-billion industry. I recruit you a lot of the youth. LT Monday to Friday, I'm 40. Hey, Baba, I say, crowd of through Facebook, your friend is saying, Twitter and other places. And some because only because what's the America now? Your friend say, Germany and I say, we now dash around a part 4, I could pay trainer, I could hear Juma. Uncle Tanaza and I just hear Baba. Because the land, idle lander. Rendering people useless, and we have some twist some misguided, twisted minds be a obaka chiro so ne nyankopon akasa akire no, and kakra na wanya no so yafo nyansa kwan age afiri nsam because wonim nyansa. So poverty has become a way of life for people in Africa, when indeed it takes just bold decision to change it all. A proper leadership that will be able to calibrate, work together, come up with a proper plan. Because my sister breaks, it's the currency eba, I bet challenge the dollar. I didn't see the whole of Africa. Yaka because me say yes here the Ecowas and why bano. Let me tell you my men for no. Baba do say to me tekasa, me who eko ni bida. Edi ya ho bro. Because baby obia live comfortable. But leadership must begin to develop a sense that it go beyond us leaders in power. Because media may believe we say we are president, that alone should be enough for you. It is not about money. Leave a legacy. Build people, empower people, leave a lasting legacy. We are president, right now we are poor. Leave legacy, build people. And a point I make catch up said the greatest wealth that was as way so. And the love, care, and the respect you have for humanity. That is the most valuable wealth that wait me I can't want some was so. But in Africa, the narrative is the other way around. Get money. It doesn't matter how you get it. Once you have it, some are respectable. Live large, live at their expense. Sana nyankopon boy. Enti Ghana hanam yase mkofo ba cars amanfo kura nyi sika kwota ba kroma bi a kwan no kwa da fa so a nye. But sika ne yenya na fonti no ya de beto ton kwase anema. Omo wo chance ano. They commit those things in ensuring say you want to set up enterprises that will be able to take people out of poverty. Because that is all that leadership is about. Empower people, take them out of poverty, take them out of misery. But when leadership is about making money, na oba no benye sika na nkwasasa ma no ase akotena zaka say wabo bra ben, because if stealing is all that you about the bra. Because America, we are see a lawless place. So Africa development na coup na no. The thread is now through French colonies, no. And if you look at the internal factors they play out, you see na me catch you be say oko Benin. There is internally no near koye. Enyame nwanwa. So these powers here more around looking for allies will just exploit. They will just blow the situation out of proportion. Make sure that there is a change in government. Because my catcher say maybe a coup basically is an opportunity for these guys looking for allies. Because you two are buying free swap. Your democratic ties and then as a phone and either Russia or China is ready to welcome you because they need you for their own agenda. So don't ever sit anywhere and say, cool, yeah, we align ourselves to way on Bejiang or Bibetimia and Chen Yankasayo. It is time our African leaders will come together and realize, Yankasa on our own, no, your destiny, Ejina Yankasa, so no foreign power beyond a beba to change things for us. Because you think China is here because he cares for Africa? You think Russia is here? Other powers they are here because they care for you? Now, just take China as an example. Countries now, omo Bosnia keke a wintimi ntuano. Wajeje omo ejapade. That is the ally people have written. Omanya ode Bosnia mo omo na omo ntimi ntuano. Waje na ejapade o. And you think that is a strategic ally? We need to be wise. But sadly for us, Ecowas na a cabal of old jokers. A cabal of jokers. Francophone gum share Tinibu of Nigeria so Ecowas chairman. Nipana nam kra na order. These are people with the power to make sure Monsem Tinibu, Nigerian president. So intervention bang you all rolled it out to remedy the situation. Intervention bang. Because say a military intervention, nipa na you coup, soldier for take your mind no. What's what the soldier for could two free so you know the consequences. Wouldn't be a besi. You'll be calling for a full-blown war. And don't forget, the Wagner mercenary group now, China, Russia for us so more air or Ukraine then saying there was this confrontation and unity. Or much more kakrana, or mugu Africa. No. Whenever Ecowas, Bernard say, or attack any of these countries, beyond those people are there offering protection to them, and it's going to be a full-scale war in Africa. So this whole thing may end up turning Africa into a killing field, and I'm not sure that is what we want. So yeah, threatening and I'm on returning to that is not the way. ECOWAS has to be very diplomatic and strategic. Get their plans right. Come out with strategic measures. A bit Now your president quite recently on now your ECOWAS chairman Ghana. ECOWAS for whenever you are going into a major elections, you don't do any significant alteration in the electoral documents and go into the elections. 2020, Ghana, a brand new electoral register. Now it was less than 6 months for us to go into the general elections. And there was this possibility say we are not careful. It will give rise to disenchantment. That particular convention, Ghana, because nobody recognizes the essence of ECOWAS. So, Sanya and find you register. Yeah. So, Ochana say ECOWAS didn't share banners will be in this one. I did better with me, especially when these countries, are reliably informed. Say, there is a new friend that is standing in the shadows. You can align yourself to them. So they feel emboldened. They feel so, okay, fine. If Russia is there, if China is there, why not? We are not afraid. So this thing has become motivation for a lot of the countries, to do the coup that you see. And that is a fact. So African leaders, wake up. My culture say over the Francophone, the Anglophone countries like Ghana, Nigeria, and few other countries now, it will be very difficult to stage a coup and succeed. Because that back, you may not have it. If you think the internal mechanism you are lying bad. But quite recently, I think I mean some way be so-called in the north. Some of these insurgency group spread more tentacles into the northern part of Ghana. Gradually they are pushing in. So instability no be see how they start free. They pushing these people. You see, that there is this internal wrangling. Whenever I was not imagine some, but Samre ya know that particular level, no. My focus is on Ghana. and shishaye ne niema ebeya say we see street even the Ghanaians are chanting say coup. People don't know what they are asking for because my culture say coup is no option, but people are hoping say kebesi which I was adding here because they have lost trust in the political establishment. So at the end of year fa hon peace council. At the end of year fa hon I could for the appointments and Dr. Apia Hinos Apia Jayos and Wanyo a known MPP person, communicator or the radio so or kasa manfonim the oye a partisan exposed person or be any no kroma say. Na papa we yabo modern kwatam nipa we say onko electoral commission enko ye adwuma na sabi unyo mamboyefo a unyo obi a uyo mamboyefo a. You know what it means when they talk about election in Africa. Election, electoral violence, are transforming a lot of places in Africa into a graveyard. You look at Sudan, you look at Cote d'Ivoire, what happened between Alassane Ouattara and Gbagbo, and a whole lot of examples, until the last thing any reasonable president will do is to endanger the prospect of future elections. So, partisan exposed person crowd here is a no-go area because already sentiment has been all over around this current electoral commissioner and then Bosman Asare. Man for unlended trust and confidence that alone is insecurity for your friends your future elections. Now amidst of this controversy trying to run around this thing, the president will go ahead and appoint somebody who is a known partisan person into the electoral commission. Will you do this? But we are here sitting cool as if nothing. But trust me, if you look at the way and manner politics, governance, leadership are play out in the last 8 years under Akufo-Addo government, any attempt on their part, any attempt to tamper with the dignity of our electoral process going into 2024 elections, trust me, there are a lot of people who will not take it kindly, and the consequences I cannot sit here and talk about it. We cherish our democracy. We love our democracy. However bad it is, it's better than any military way we are or but it looks as if deliberately the man is building a certain foundation able give rise to some of these things. Unless all Kononan to Kwasi Wagana. And I know it says the Peace Council or Christian Council say they find absolutely nothing wrong with this reckless decision by the president or this electoral commission. At least the sensitivity of the institution alone precluding from coming in. But hear evil, see no evil. The various so-called moral pay sectors, Pentecost Papaya on the preaches a young fire integrity committee and a commission. You see, they are all privy to all these things. Nobody is talking. The president consistently boom raso. Yet yan of our domlivo to my penny, yan tip kasa from Sankrofo way biano. Supreme Court didn't rule him by the president acted in bad faith and he had no authority to do what he did. We are moving on. You see, these sentiments now are man for. So this is a person consciously, he has decided that he will break the neck of institutions. And they play out in Ghana is playing out in several other African countries. And they give rise to this anti-democratic sentiment to say, now we need democracy, the Ankadabraka. In the media, we have seen a lot. Okasa, you bet wabo, you bet threaten, you bet you saying, just a whole lot. People who do these things eventually get away. Fresh on our minds. I met Swale. The infamous statement by Kennedy Japan And that this guy is bold enough out there on a political platform telling people, say, or not a president, Eddie. The same person sat on radio and told the people of Ghana, said, Joy FM, you're building it out of proceeds from drugs. He said it live. Now people sit on that media station and they say, oh, Nipo more chances, Kennedy Japan kahon. This is the society that we live in. Society without morals, no principles. No morals, no principles, absolutely nothing. Everything goes in. But we really need to be very, very careful and tread cautiously. Because and a few people could control the narrative. First, and a few people can lead and control the discussion. And then with the advent of this new media, people are sourcing information from diverse platforms. Because it's all you need to be able to reason. You see, information, Obian Kasa say change the information is like a building blocks. Because in the knowledge economy, one of the key things is information. So the informations are the key. We give it to you, put it here, run it around, process it, analyze it, and make informed choices and informed decisions. It's all that this era is offering us. I'm out here, I'm on certain leverage. I want to out the Juma. So rules of engagement politics today are different from politics as it used to be 10 years ago, because at that time, no few traditional media and they control the narrative, and that people are getting exposed. People are getting exposed. Anything I kakra bi ana amam for say, omo hu say, hey, we are president o man na your mama de e na your papa de. Nipa na di tumi ama na waba bedi so bi. Obeja ho akọ. Enti omo ntena ho ma won say no. But in the civilized countries like UK, America, and other places, the president na ba no who say wadi nsemu, they resign and they go by hano. Sa sense ni bi ni yampanim 14. Enti obedi akonwa na owu kro betena so awu. Oh, they don't care, I'm resigning. Hwe obi tise Mugabe. State no home, no DD president. I was Zimbabwe. Nanti akra no ntumi nante. But you have young people guiding and aiding him, or call you an assembly no crapoma, or general also giddy na. I say ya bodam. I say ya bodam. Somebody who could not even walk on his own. And I swanu go play mu. Na ya the microphone, obi the microphone akutiana no. So in the physical state in Pony, then talk about the mind. I dream bang and all the baby or mind. But enam nipa no mo twa no hwehye ndo mbenya dintin, they don't care. Nifunu kro amon dem kwa kujina also more mind. No morals, no principle, and a cut across Africa. A cut across everywhere. So greed abaya one devastating element. It taking away everything from us. Almost everything. Everything. Moral society is quiet. The so-called moral corridors is so corrupt to the extent that even politics in the crime fan. The moral corridors, is so corrupt to the extent that me say politics in the crime fan. That is the level we've got into. And I'm 40 or actually no what is playing out in Africa. Just look, because if you sit afar and you watch what is going on in Africa, it's quite interesting. The way China is eating deep into the fabrics of the African world. And now Russia is the new client. All when they came out, some mercenaries and what they kind. And the instability is all over. Their traces are all over. I am telling you, sir, None of these people want Africa to prosper. Because we are now by the and we are able to establish ourselves a very robust, a very responsible continent. Sa material no muhia no kwa kunya no he. Go to DR Congo, na kobisa. China ne DR Congo government, the kind of banter or go to over the years. Over this same tanky mines, it could be a court. Because some of these communist inspired countries, you know what they do? They say when they are coming into your country, or minor master or minor wabatar no. That the Nemana who are in our part who say a private enterprises and as for no, they are owned by the state because those countries, you know, private ownership no shada in the horse. So whenever Bosnian free private bank or China, you should know say you are taking it from the government. Assemble when the government in the body. And this way no, they have the backing of the state. And the way that party is so easy so by influence them. So easy. Sino-hydro as a phone number and number 2 million officer private enterprises. In those communist countries, you know, there are no private ownership. You could have a situation that individuals in their front but they don't belong to them. And the last time I make about Abramovich in the Chelsea team, no, Sikana no they to me, I say Abramovich, you say Nisika. Because such federation, you know, the president will identify individuals and make them fabulously rich. Because on himself, his engagement in activities, you know, Russia acquire America so acquire investment, I bet Pamno. And now by UK, yeah, man of crime. But what if individual comes? So they will give the money to an individual. That is why I'm talking about, you know, almost deliberately seize or more setting in an because when you say any individual and there, a state in there. So, what's the idea? The Bemau, ya the Bemau and a paper so, or Beji with Japadie. Zambia. They've been forced to enlist their national television, you know, on Star Time, which is a pay-per-view. Now, national TV, they acquire them or pay-per-view, so a national TV or be our access to watch. Jacob Bob Bossing a TV into ya. Or more electricity company, says ya, or more Prajiafa. So you think such country is an ally? Bosnia Crodiama went to into your call, you were Japadia. And the big story, I will say, my bomb team in America, they see was Sri Lanka. Sri Lanka port in the Kosi saying, or minor a bubuna citizens, with that point in China called you on port. So we need to be very wise. Leadership in Africa, any leaders now must come to the realization, say, ya ton your watch. Ya sisa ye Japadia na se fornum a Japadia ye we a ye hu ye so mfaso yi ye nuanu omo Saudi Arabia e wo bi omo no apart from say few companies over there A2 no ni nyina hye omo establish big way and e hye omo ase so wa ba betu no wo ye adwuma ma omo e ba na ye tua oka soldier for omo bo ho ban the American army e wo ho a offer security for them. Ye tuo moka yen kan chiro se bagitu ana se fausika ye bibia woton na wa 5% omo nya sa Anglo Gold no mote oboase o mudi nsegu omo baji a ye fa ni say we do mutua maye no royalties na other one no mutua maye. Go to South Africa, the same companies they're mining, go and look at the conditions of what they operate or even corporate social responsibilities are more rendered to people no kra as good now almost say at some point in time, almost say, because Sadia no or fast setting lifeline for the youth in Oboase because what beji Omolanda said na say for a team no you must make sure so win Germany go. Ye team no the man your friend is saying Koku from point and also ne ba the kotwa bet and ye di team no it say as good na go because Anglo Gold decided to say, oh, that's social corporate responsibility, no? But they have a duty. Omo yes hard decision, you know. Even at the point if you know your friend is saying ask go for a press or you be him no. Nanka somebody thought they could intervene. They sat aloof, watch it. Because omo kwaje ba na sabi bed in baba tomo so na omugu ne you need no duty. Agu go to Obuasi. And this anka ask go do anya hwe nka Obuasi akora be betimi akwa akobo team no bi anwa enam so ama sabi ne bra boss ne ye eni hobiem. Leadership enya worried. Mente say parliament obi kura ka ho asem da because they don't care. So these companies feel comfortable coming here, make money. They come and take the money here, and in the end, we live on the grant they give us. The mercy and the charity card, no, what the we treasure that thing more than the natural resources. Because resources, no, between your oil, to we are 5%. That is how pathetic we are. That is how pathetic. In the end, when I'm Europe, we travel over thousands of kilometers. Now when you was say, "Koyan ties what a Thai road, but look at this land. Look at this land. Baby, we are still doing a there are parts in Ghana light to cry home. Now I'm here light, life, and I'm light to do me. Internet. May katasa no boso din. Nobody cares. So services that are supposed to be rendered to the ordinary people and the life begging, you know, that is not the focus, that is not the priority of leadership. It is about big deals, returns. It's all that leadership is about in that part of the world. So we have a long way to go. But you to know, dear, we will not give up. We will continue to take this advocacy to a different level. Nobody is calling for violence, never. But we are seeking, what we are seeking is a mental revolution that will change the psyche and the thinking of our people. Because the very moment the thinking and the psyche of the people, no, as a sample, we can align it to a common purpose, backed by a positive energy, and that we can make change that we want. But baby, I mean, even with the wave of this new media, people are using it for all sort of reasons. Me say, okay, YouTube. Now, her content a Ghana for consuming kwasi asema sebi amanfo etie awisu we di tia. Unye hu ya no say nipa ndodo na ayira dada. Because ade a obetie and they inform you and they define who you are. Because we have no sense of purpose and direction, we are making celebrity, foolish celebrity out of a lot of people who don't even deserve a click. And once almost freeze or more year, you know, then every day we are such nasty and nonsense things on various social media platforms. And they get exposed to some of this silly stuff going on various platforms. What will be the future of that child? We have a lot to do. That is why opportunity be just interact, speak to people. Because time has come for us to move beyond the frontiers of extreme partisan activism and extreme partisan politics. Now you're coming to the realization, say, partisan politics alone will not solve our problems. We need something bigger than that. That is a sense of national pride. We can't lose that thing. Selling their driving here, then we will see the need to make our society better, a good place. Na ye nuya no ma almost around nante tesa obi nante nim so kwako, but he doesn't care. And a pana make catch obi say Ghana ni ti abrochire koye na adwuma na so de sika ba kuruma besete apo ndwuma. Taxes egu ho nko ano is disincentive. Ontimi me bi o, ba ne nuya oye broni ye na adwe so oba kuruma be bi adwuma ya man tax incentive holiday 5 days, 5 years. Bajuma untia tax. Omonso no smart enough. Ajuma no ba begu pe. Omomba moba mienu. Ajuma no 5 years no so no waguno. Then you na go register in a different name, running the same thing for another 5 years. Now your boy a bro. There's a bonnet and kasa we tima to the bonnet a friend bonnet. Until I say I agree with Kennedy Japan to certain extent. Say we were naturally bombarded. Unu yabe kwa ye adwuma abontin se o de car air back room say oduru porter near the sika guswa to the sense otua ontumi ntua na yaje na obi akoton se aka na 5,000 Ghana the man girlfriend ebi cry the chiche those ocean cars no enya car F4 you obi bre atwa no park of fruit train in the morning akogina snow mo ye adwuma edi ne sika akoto car obeduru ye no sika ye gina the port no e wo no ane man mu no eso chen sika o de toss aka no ye nte so ma wonto na ye option kra nka nipa na ordinary de buy no should be the first person ye be man option to buy want to me na ya ton ba bi e be ton car no kra unhu na kwabrane afa na ye chema ye mpana na ye namfofo no na wa wo kobere ye no de nkwase adwuma say this is the society we live in. Nti ade afuo kroma aban bia ba power ne nkrofo pe bi ocean cars. Oti ocean cars na amanfo bere akusan mo fifirani wa abrochire. Amanfo bere na yaje wo port ono ane man mo nya oman fofrom na yaje because you say taxes na eguso no because ya shada pay tax no ma to the extent say on to mintua enti won to mintua na yaje na ya be chama ye ho party boys. So we catch us and naturally we were bombarded. You need to understand. So we need to do a lot to change the narrative. And then your weekend, minya free time bebre. And intina, I decided say yambra together and then yen share a few things. Leadership. Bia should cheer toward liberating the potentials in Obia. America for American dream no. Enye bibia say enye bibia o. They are very sure say you provide platforms no ha. Oba yemfa bibia me hye wo mu. But the platforms are such that a bit aboa to potentiate whatever potential our ba abroni wickedness ne ba akofo peso didi mea fane nuanum nkoa enti no yes ye be make sure say we will impoverish people will be poor, we take away their economic freedom, make them suffer, so when they suffer they'll have no other option than to turn to us. But people no cry more suffer na bia potential as they wo mu so chan. Nobody cares. Because land near a brona money land na yete so. Emra Nyajuma is a lawless state. Now what's your my president Nankasa cry a lawless person on Famra Nyajuma? If you live in a country where President Nankasa is a lawless person, institutions of state on fire Nyajuma, package state institutions, or state institution away Yajuma and Koye Mana to me pamu free ho. If you look at the power up in the judiciary, I'm a public trust and confidence. You're weakening state institution to the extent say any smaller king can be an about and unrelenting you ogusu ye. That is the danger we all face. And then the scare some of us you believe we say time has come for us to add our voices to the conversation. Say boy. You bet me taking away nema aye necessary ma aye conducive for all these things to happen. No, you bet me isa nema ni nyina free ho. That is the import of this whole conversation, trying to align it with happenings in other African countries. Sebeya embambe drua because sa nema way you say bushfire effect. A sick country by Koswa. Nenam spread it because people take cue, people take inspiration. Problem I namui, and one I namui. Now so much woman by Negua. Yes, so Omutugu yano, they've gotten new people, friends, allies, Russia, China, Amoshe Sumuho, say Muntungu Namra, Omejo. So there is enough motivation. Because they have an agenda. That agenda, no, they need more backing people. So again, I hear to ensure say a name man never could do that level. You bet me taking in a few. Ecowas doesn't care now. Tinibu of Nigeria to me say Ecowas no more bra. Alassane Ouattara will be on what book. The constitution trase a extra term account. It's an integral member part fully recognized by Ecowas. Nasa nipa no pinche bisi baby now suman say on-call restore peace. Will people take him serious? That's why I tell you say Ecowas is nothing more than a bunch of old jokers who should not be taken serious. And internet coup makers now becoming emboldened. And look at what is happening. They are now forming a ring. Across Sahel region, West Africa and Central Africa, a ring and they're forming. It will be very easy for them to trade among themselves, align themselves to external source. They become emboldened and they will offer leverage to other countries who want to do the same thing. So we see what we face in Africa, and if we are not careful, me say by the year 2025, 2026, in half of the countries in West Africa, military and a so. Because Sahaba 6 now, they offer certain lifeline, a very enticing package telling people to come and join. So any least provocation within any of these democratic dispensation, people will rise and take arms. Ghana, we are mature enough. About democracy, mature until Akufo-Addo came in. On the buyer and decided say he will just destroy everything. Because our here in Chroma days be seen now. Pay sectors independence, inspire several other countries to achieve independence within a period. 31 countries in a period of 10 years. Yayebi. Yabe pay sectors on the radar of democracy, inspiring countries in an asafonum, and then yabe do a level economy na crash womb. We have no leverage over our neighbors. Ghana by a laughing stock and there. Economically, politically, nothing seems to be working for us. And amidst of all these things, and who some emotional intelligence on the part of our leaders, $1 million issue nearby na people were trying to justify it. President of Pemuna and Kasano, our investigation say, oh, Onimse Abnada Power come out claim this is a president though, not a party organizer. Party organizer there as a party, a group. But president who's seen as a father of all the institutions, how can people have trust in the state institutions? That is the level we've got into. But I think that we've done enough for the day. Thank you very much for your time. All those who made an effort to be here. I think that we've shared enough. Any opportunity we have seen here BNB. Like I said, I didn't buy unannounced because time, and shada any side. So whenever I get free chance, I try to come online. Especially at the time, development in Ecowas is very nasty, and there is this hypocrisy on the part of people who are supposed to ensure they confront these things and speak to it. Over the weekend, the Indiana me full papa na Pentecost for my chairman. They say your job is to say we are 10, and from Bible days and then as for that's all that the prophet were doing. or hen to snow din se muna wo and I will cock kind of creature in the panel. Yet you come a month with 2 galamsey, yes, and nipple 2 galamsey, ye no more, ye no more. And he, the man, a privy to individuals. To sit government down and tell him in the face, say, there is a need for us. Say, you're coming out with a deliberate intervention a bit to me, at dealing with this situation, you know. Now, Koshe Mudam Sawo bomb paye, ama, ye to 2 galamsey asia, we a serious person. Always and always in the picture, dining and whining with power. Must friend give us a break. Those days now with me fully a man for, but a no. A man for eyes are open. Don't me say we are not motivated by hate, malice, and as for. If you do the right thing, we will commend you. But where you have a moral duty, a moral responsibility to ensure that society will not crash, and you sit on that out of hypocrisy, no, you are not a victim. You are a sponsor and an accomplice. So if anything, BRC, Okumana, Nemaji, and Sema, these guys are nothing but sponsors and accomplices. It's 7, so I think we can end it here. Thank you very much for your time. We've been here for quite a long time, so more journey and I think you can go over and watch. We've said a lot today, from Africa to Ghana, what we have to do, the way forward, how Ecowas are compromising and want to the extent say member state in any respect for. Omokasa moving so they see the Ecowas as a back-end dog. Need any leverage be over be a do can be amfani pay. Nkabeba ne send a cool leaders calling on the bluff of Ecowas. Amopom family also because they are prepared. We need to get serious in the sub-region, and yes, we will continue to remain a laughing stock so far as the world and its development is concerned. Thank you very much.